All right, let's just dive right into this explainer and explore the absolute ultimate gaming power fantasies. We're counting down the top 10 character skills in gaming. You know, those incredible abilities that just let us completely bend reality and, honestly, transform how we interact with virtual worlds. From tactical precision to straight-up godlike powers, we're going to break down exactly why these mechanics feel so incredibly satisfying to use. So, kicking off level 1 of our countdown, we're starting with abilities that reward a really cool head in chaotic situations. Coming in at number 10, we've got to focus on absolute precision and tactical control. This one is definitely for all you players who want to see every single detail of the battlefield right before you strike. And there's a reason this literally never gets old. Slow motion or bullet time. It instantly elevates combat from simply trying to survive to feeling genuinely superhuman. When you trigger this skill, you aren't just dodging bullets or lining up perfect shots. No, you're turning a frantic, overwhelming firefight into a highly stylized slaughterhouse ballet. It injects this crazy precision, incredible style, and absolute control into pretty much any action game it touches. Because, you aren't just mashing buttons anymore. As our source quote perfectly captures, I am conducting violence like an orchestra. Bullet time makes everything instantly cooler on contact, simply because it lets you dictate the exact pace of the destruction. It is all about being the untouchable maestro of the battlefield. Moving on, stepping away from those flashy, slow-motion shootouts, our number 9 spot takes us straight into the shadows. We're looking at a much quieter, yet I'd argue equally deadly type of lethality. It's an approach that definitely requires planning over pure reflexes.
Stealth assassination. These skills are among the most deeply rewarding abilities in all of gaming. They aren't always the flashiest, for sure, but silently dropping enemies from above or clearing an entire compound without a single guard knowing you were ever there, man, that provides a totally different rush. It rewards immense patience, careful planning, and flawless execution. When you pull off a perfect stealth run, you truly feel like a ghost with a massive body count. Just look at the contrast here. Brute force combat is loud, it's reactive, it's totally chaotic. But stealth assassination? That's deliberate, calculated, and proactive. You're basically solving a lethal puzzle, picking apart an encounter piece by piece. It's a completely different flavor of empowerment. And actually, that naturally bridges us right into our next tier of skills. Welcome to Level 2, Survival and Momentum. This is where we completely shift the pacing with a massive, sudden spike in aggression for our number 8 spot. Honestly, few skills hit the brain quite like a well-timed rage mechanic. We're talking about those intense moments where you get boosted damage, drastically faster attacks, and the downright terrifying ability to simply ignore pain. You immediately transform your character into a one-person natural disaster. It absolutely rules because it turns tough fights into momentum avalanches, frequently creating some of the most satisfying comeback moments in gaming history. So number 8, Rage or Berserk mode. The fine, I'll do it angry button. But, to sustain that kind of explosive momentum over a 40-hour playthrough, you need a skill that can completely flip the rhythm of a brutal encounter when things go terribly wrong. And that essential safety net brings us right to number 7 on our list. Here's the crucial point. Survivability is king. Healing or regeneration might not be the flashiest pick on this countdown, but it is undeniably one of the most important. Being able to recover in the middle of a brutal encounter is what keeps runs alive. In RPGs especially, this single skill is so often the only thing standing between a devastating party wipe and a legendary seat-of-your-pants clutch victory. It gives you the vital breathing room you need to recover from mistakes, turning super difficult encounters into highly strategic chess matches. Okay, we are now entering level 3 of our countdown, breaking the rules. As we hit number 6, we start messing with space, numbers, and the fundamental ways enemy attacks even function against you. This is where the abilities get truly bizarre and incredibly powerful. Teleportation, or blink. It's hands down one of the coolest movement skills ever invented because it completely shatters the normal rules of space. Need to escape a tight corner? Blink. Need to instantly get behind a heavily armored enemy with a shield? Blink. It packs mobility, offense, defense, and just undeniable style into one absurdly useful power. It allows for incredibly creative combat, vastly faster traversal, and honestly, the slickest hit-and-run gameplay the medium has to offer. Now, breaking the rules of space is fun, but breaking the rules of numbers, that's even better. For our number 5 spot, we're looking at how you can instantly tip the scales of a fight in your favor by bringing in some truly devastating backup to storm the battlefield.
Seriously, why fight alone when you can bring in monsters, spirits, demons, or even entire armies to do your dirty work? Summoning skills are fantastic because they add this massive visual spectacle and deep strategy at the exact same time. Sometimes these summons act as devastating attacks, sometimes they offer vital defensive support, and, well, sometimes they act as giant everything on screen is now dead buttons. It gives you that wonderful, kind of terrifying feeling of commanding something way more powerful than yourself. All right, just missing out on our top three, we hit number 4. And this specific mechanic might just be gaming's purest dopamine machine for defensive play. It demands absolute focus and rewards it with spectacular results. I'm talking about the parry or counter. A truly great parry system can honestly carry an entire combat game on its back. The ability to read an enemy's attack, react at the perfect split-second moment, and brutally punish them for even daring to swing at you, it's a brilliant feeling. It turns defense into explosive aggression, because a good parry doesn't just stop incoming damage, it actively humiliates the opponent. It profoundly rewards your timing, your confidence, and your total mastery of the game's mechanics. And now, we've reached level 4, God-tier abilities for our top 3. This is where your character doesn't just get stronger, they begin to mess with the very fabric of the game world itself. Whether you're freezing time, rewinding your fatal mistakes, speeding yourself up, or slowing enemies down to an absolute crawl, these powers are pretty much always elite tier. Peeking into alternate outcomes and bending the clock opens the door for completely mind-bending mechanics. It allows for incredibly creative puzzle solving and combat that literally makes you feel like an untouchable deity manipulating the flow of reality. Coming in at number 3, time manipulation. Freezing, rewinding, and altering outcomes. Okay, the tension is really building now as we approach the very top of our list. Our number 2 skill taps into an ultimate empowering fantasy, taking everything your character is and just throwing it out the window for something much, much scarier. Shape-shifting and transformation. These skills are undeniable heavyweights. Any skill that lets a character become something stronger, faster, deadlier, or completely different is immediately top tier. Whether it's a werewolf form, a demon form, or a towering dragon, these transformations tap into the fantasy of becoming more than human. It basically feels like hitting a dramatic second phase boss transition, but on your command, completely changing the rules around you and giving you a thrillingly fresh way to play. Now, real quick, before we unveil our number 1 pick, let's take a beat to appreciate some incredible honorable mentions from the source material that just barely missed the top spots. We've got the sheer cool factor of dual wielding, the tactical ghostliness of invisibility, and the raw rush of super speed. Then there's the terrifying utility of mind control and necromancy, the visual pop of elemental weapon imbuement, the smooth momentum of wall running and acrobatics, and of course, the steadfast reliability of shield blocking. All of these are amazing foundational skills that really shape our favorite games. But, that leaves us with a major question. Take a second and think about it. With all of these incredible, reality-bending, highly empowering abilities we've just leveled up through, what could possibly take the number 1 spot? What is the absolute king's throne of character skills? Well, welcome to the boss stage. After looking through all the data and analyzing these ultimate mechanics, it is finally time to reveal the undisputed champion of gaming power fantasies. Taking our absolute number 1 spot is magic and spellcasting. It is the ultimate Swiss Army knife. Fireballs, lightning strikes, healing, teleportation, summoning shields, curses. Magic can be almost anything you need it to be. No other skill category is as incredibly versatile, iconic, creative, or consistently fun across as many different genres of games. It can be elegantly supportive, wildly destructive, tactical, or just plain weird. It's the absolute foundation of some of the greatest builds in gaming history. So I'll leave you with this thought. Whether you want to unleash a storm of destruction or manipulate the battlefield from the shadows, what kind of god will you choose to become the next time you pick up a controller?